How you guys all doing this morning? That's good. I'm kind of hungover, so give me a break. All right. How many people think technology is fucking awesome? Yeah, you guys are all wannabes. Actually, technology is awesome, but generally entrepreneurship is not so awesome. That discipline is still quite in its infancy, in my opinion, and most of the time people fail and shit really doesn't work very well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. If you'd like to follow along, my slides are online. I tweeted that out a little while ago, and the hashtag for this talk is everything sucks. Quick commercial. I'm the founding partner of a venture capital firm called 500 Startups. I used to be a geek. I was an engineer and developer. I was kind of a shitty entrepreneur. Got a very small exit in the mid-90s. Was fortunate to land at PayPal around 2001 and learned a lot from some very smart people there. As I was leaving PayPal, I started doing angel investing. Did that for about 4 years and about 13 companies. I advised for a few others. Mint.com, SlideShare, and Mashery were some of the more notable stories. And then started working at Founders Fund in 2008, and then started 500 Startups about 3 years ago. So what is 500 Startups? We are a floor wax. We're a dessert topping. No, actually, we're a global seed fund and startup accelerator. We are actually all over the world. Our main headquarters is in Silicon Valley, but we have investing partners in 5 other countries. In fact, I just came back from Mexico, and our accelerator in Mexico City just kicked off with 18 new companies down there. We have made a lot of investments. That's part of our investing thesis. Hopefully that strategy will work. It'll take a few years to see if that works out. And I would mention we're also pretty active outside the country. Still probably half of our investments are in Silicon Valley, maybe 25% in the rest of the US, but we're extremely active in several other countries, Brazil, India, Mexico particularly, and starting to work now on China, Southeast Asia, and maybe in the near future, Eastern Europe and the Arabic-speaking market. Okay, so that's the commercial. If you have not seen my talks online, and you have some delicate sensibilities, you might want to get the fuck out of this room right now. So yes, I apologize for nothing. It is not necessarily an intentional device. My mom swore like a sailor. I'm a hillbilly from West Virginia. Yeah, go Mountaineers. Go coal mines and cows. So anyway, I'm a little bit Italian, a little bit Scots-Irish, so I am both insane, angry, and emotional at most times. The advice that I am about to give you, please do not follow it. You will likely have many trails of tears if you follow any of my advice. Hopefully I'm entertaining, if not educational, but I do not guarantee this is useful, and you might get fucking arrested. Sorry. Okay, enough of the apologies. This is my second time doing this particular material, so it's still new and I'm still working out the kinks. And sorry, you're the guinea pigs. It will probably suck because I don't quite have all the timing down. But you'll get to say that you saw me blow it in fucking person. I was originally putting this talk together. I was tweeting out some of the links, and basically most everything will happen in the first slide, and then I'll just be like riffing on material after that. By the way, do you guys know how to heckle? No, it doesn't sound like it. Now, just telling me I suck is not heckling. You have to be a little bit more creative than that. Exactly. So here's the thing. Everybody's like fascinated with technology. Everybody wants to be the next Elon Musk. He's so fucking awesome. And he is, except that's really hard. And so most people either are at the extremes. They don't do anything or they try to do everything. And both of those are strategies for fail. And the reality is, most things are already really shitty or really amazing, and all you have to do is sort of just move some shit from the really shitty side towards the amazing side, and you can copy and integrate most of the amazing stuff and make most of the shitty stuff better. And that's my fucking talk. That's it. That's the whole story. How many people know Louis C.K.? He's actually a lot more awesome than that. You guys blow on that. Have you seen there's a clip that's about 60 seconds about everything's amazing, nobody's happy. He talks about people complaining about flying, and you're like, you're in a chair in the sky. And it is kind of awesome. But flying blows. There is so much shit about flying that blows. The TSA blows, my luggage check blows, the wireless doesn't work, the fucking stewards and waitresses and everything. Waitresses, not waitresses. They suck. They just anyway. So I fly about 100 days a year. I have to turn off my phone. They tell me to turn off my phone. I never turn off my phone. I lie like a goddamn bastard. You want a great hack? Take out the little cardboard guide that's the emergency exits. Put that, if you're sitting in the aisle, put that your phone under the left side of that, and the stewards will come by and they'll think you're reading the fucking how to open the emergency exit and save people's lives. And what you're really doing is looking at your goddamn phone and tweeting and reading everything, and ignore those motherfuckers. It totally is not going to bring down the goddamn plane. This is the stupidest fucking rule ever. The FCC chairman, Julian Genachowski, recently recommended that they change the goddamn rules. The FAA is full of fucking shit, and we are not going to crash the goddamn plane. 30% of people leave the goddamn phones up. Anyway, sorry, where am I going with this? So, Louis C.K., hey, flying is fucking awesome. You should appreciate it. Don't be complaining whiners so much. And the reality is, yes, you're correct, and flying blows. It sucks, and it can be made better by doing very simple things. So, here's the main message. Everything sucks. And you probably do notice, but most of you won't fix it. Most of you are like, I'm going to create robotic toys. I'm going to create 3D printing. I'm going to create some Instagram bullshit. And actually what I want is for you to get the waiter's attention when I'm sitting with dinner and my kids, so I can get my kids fucking out of there before they start fidgeting and blows my dinner experience. So how many people eat out? How many times a year? 50 to 100? Right? And fast food even more and all this other shit. So the efficiencies in improving the food ordering process, eating out process, we all experience that problem every goddamn day. Hundreds of millions, if not billions of people experience this problem. How many people are out there, hey, I want to make the food ordering process better. That's my startup idea, breakthrough innovation startup idea. 1, 2 people, right? Not fucking sexy. Elon Musk is hey, let's go build electronic cars. Let's do solar power, and let's fucking shoot stuff into space. Very fucking sexy, but you know what? That shit's really hard. It's easy to make shit better. It's really easy to make shit better, especially because of people like Elon Musk, because their shit's actually amazing. And you don't have to compete with them. You can just copy and integrate their shit and make other stuff much better. And those guys are insufferable fucking douchebags, generally speaking. I actually know this. I did work with Elon a little bit. He's an amazing person, but actually he's not as arrogant as most of the other people. But they make it easy for us to make the rest of our lives better. And I would encourage you not to use them as role models. Now, everybody's out there oh, be the next Elon Musk. No, he's doing it great. Let him be the fucking brainiac. Copy all his shit. It's easy. Integrate his shit and make your problems and solutions better. It's lazy. It's easy. Just copy their shit, make it slightly better. 99% of the time, you should be copying or using other people's shit. 1% of the time, do something innovative and different. You don't have to build the next flying fucking car. And then make it 1% better every month. This is the entirety of my talk. I can really stop right now. Anybody want to heckle? Try it. What's wrong with that, Dave? You're not encouraging people to do breakthrough technology. You're not helping our nation get better. You're just advocating laziness. You're fucking right I am. You're fucking right I am. Build on top of other platforms and amazing shit. Focus on your 1%, make that better. Your likelihood of success will be much fucking higher. All right, really, the rest of my talk is just going to be an iteration on this crap, so you should start heckling now. Let's talk about suck for just a second. Most things suck. Would anyone disagree with me? Yes. Do you think life is amazing? How did you get here this morning? From where? Did you know where you were going? You did? Why? And what kind of phone do you have? You have a smartphone? Okay. So, iPhone? Yeah, how's the battery life on that thing? What? Oh, you are a lying bitch. Come on. Get up here. Show me your fucking phone. Do you have like location setting on? You watching video real time? You like using that to talk to people? My iPhone runs out of power in fucking 3 or 4 hours of use. It's a piece of shit. It's a crap piece of shit. No, it's actually fucking awesome, but because they are killing the market, they don't have to worry about power and battery life. Battery life on iPhone sucks. Anybody else want to try? What else is awesome?
Maybe they should focus beyond the 1% thing.
What?
Maybe they should focus beyond the 1% thing.
Beyond the 1% thing?
Yeah.
You have to heckle a little bit more intelligently. I don't understand what the fuck you're saying. All right, I'm belaboring the point here. So, the things on the screen, they all suck. At least they suck for me. I hate to wait on hold. Returning stuff, I already talked about the airport. Getting a waiter's attention, I'll come back to that. Speaking in public, I probably suck. I don't have a great feedback loop. I should probably be checking my tweets and you guys be telling me, hey, you suck. Most people also suck. This one's definitely true. Most people suck, including me. Anybody else want to try and disagree with that one? I'm really not being a pessimist. I'm just being a realist. Lots of people are mediocre. Many people suck, particularly priests with altar boys. Sorry if I'm offending anyone there. Bullies in particular suck. So now, the framing for this is most things suck, most people suck. Why is that a good thing? Exactly. The bar is set extremely low. Most things suck, most people suck. You don't have to be that amazing to really have some great experience. Sucking in general has gone on so fucking long that we are actually complacent with suck. We are extremely tolerant and accepting of suck. We live with it all the time. It's been going on forever. People without fire, life really sucked. If you were not in the top 1% of the food chain or 1% of your economic area, life probably sucked for a long time. Now, recently, that's been getting a little bit better, and Tony Stark does not suck. Over time, shit has started to suck a little less. So on the left side are sort of the big things that have happened maybe over the last 10,000, 100,000 years or so. On the right, stuff that's really happened in maybe the last 100 years. And shit sucking less is accelerating. That's a complex statement. Think about that for a second. It's a negative and a second derivative assessment. Shit sucking less, accelerating rapidly. Come on, that's good. You guys should actually be laughing at that shit. All right, so again, all these amazing people that we worship, Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, Bezos, amazing people, completely agree, kind of fucking hard. And I don't really want to be those people. Believe me, working at PayPal, one of the most humbling experiences in your goddamn life. I did not create YouTube. I did not create LinkedIn. I did not create Yelp. I did not create SpaceX. I did not create Yammer. People I worked with on a daily basis created that shit. I don't brag about that because it's awesome. I basically am completely humiliated by the people around me who have created amazing shit. Now, the opportunity is, again, to use that as an advantage, not as some humbling, psychological, destroying kind of thing. And folks that I used to work with at Founders Fund actually were all about this. They're all about the big idea. Why no flying cars? Why no teleportation or sexy robots? Now, general, that stuff's hard. If you can actually figure it out, you'll make a fuck ton of money at doing those things. But your probability of doing so is extremely low. I should probably add a part about not getting laid. That's a very sexist statement, although, I don't know. People who work on very complex problems, their lives are difficult, lonely, desperate. In general, they are not lauded as amazing people until after they've accomplished that amazing shit. Most of the time they're working on that amazing shit, like nobody thinks they're anything. In fact, they are humiliated also. because they're not going to fucking create sexy robots. Come on, that's like really impossible. After they figure it out, then they become amazing. Then like everybody like worships them. So as much as I support entrepreneurship, this is for real, I'm not fucking with you on all this. In general, people are trying way too hard to solve very, very complicated problems with great payoff, but not necessarily with high probability. And I won't get into the misalignment of large VCs suggesting that everybody go for billion-dollar ideas and why that's actually not such a great idea. Entrepreneurs should probably optimize for $25 to $100 million ideas, but that's a more complex and rational talk, and I'm here to swear. How many people are Game of Thrones fans? Tyrion Lannister, awesome. Why am I talking about this? Tyrion Lannister, generally a smart person, some disadvantages, probably lazy, likes to get drunk. I kind of worship him. The reason I bring this up is because most of the people in the room are probably smarter than the average bear, except for the fact that you're deciding to waste a Friday listening to me talk. And you have the advantage of actually knowing a lot of these other people, or at least knowing their work over the last, say, 100 of years or so. There are plenty of amazing people out there. So again, I urge you not to copy their behavior, copy their work, right? Use the fact that they are amazing mental giants and you might be a smart midget standing on their shoulders. You can beat the rest of people who suck and the rest of the things that suck out there by simply being lazy, copying and integrating their shit and doing one thing that's interesting. Lots of amazing people whose work is absolutely astonishing. In particular, the folks on the right recently, Google, PayPal, Amazon, Apple, even Microsoft, at least a little while ago. Integrate their shit so much easier. The practice of incremental innovation is not one that is largely worshipped. Most things that we spend time on and like everybody wants to be amazing because they're doing all this breakthrough work. Again, contributes greatly to society and economic output, but it's generally speaking pretty hard. What is not appreciated is the long tail of incremental, small innovation that makes everyone's life just marginally better on a day-by-day basis. That is not something we worship. We do not pay attention to that. The other part of that is it's actually pretty easy. Why? Because most things suck. You don't have to be Tony Stark, right? Look at the amazing things that they're doing. As an example, you go to a restaurant. How many restaurants do you think have a customer list? Have a list of emails or phone numbers for their restaurant? Probably less than 10% of most restaurants have any fucking idea who their customers are. Now, if that restaurant is great, they should be able to do retention marketing to their existing customers and get them to come back. Easiest fucking thing ever. Except they don't have customer lists. What technology do you require to have customer lists? Email. Yeah, you could even do it on a piece of fucking paper and like get email addresses. How many restaurants do you walk to that you know that have asked you for your email address or your phone number? You might not want to give them that information, but very rarely do they ask for it. So the secret is just to look at the shit that's very crappy around you and make it better. I guarantee you probably 80% of the innovation in building better restaurant businesses is just retention marketing to existing customers. It's super fucking simple. No restaurant does it, with very, very few exceptions. Most businesses generally suck at innovation. They suck at basic technology. They don't know how to code. They don't know search marketing. They don't know email marketing. They should know email marketing. That's been around for almost 2 decades. They probably don't know how to do that very well. They certainly don't know how to do social marketing very well, video, local, mobile. They don't know all of these things. Most of you probably know 1 or 2 of those things. I used to work at PayPal. In the 90s, we were doing e-commerce projects, middle and late 90s. Generally, those things cost a minimum of $1 million to do a decent e-commerce site. In 2001, I sort of learned about PayPal, went over there, and it was basically 10 lines of HTML that you could copy or paste, and you could accept credit cards. 10 fucking lines of HTML, and you could accept credit cards. Now, again, most people are going to say, that's not innovation, that's not amazing. No, it is fucking amazing. Why is it fucking amazing? Because credit cards, accepting credit cards for small business merchants is still a problem today. It was a big problem 10 years ago, and it's the most basic fucking thing, accepting money online. For most of your startups, monetization, payment, one of the biggest challenges. Internet marketing, also one of the biggest challenges. Email, search marketing, social marketing, all those things have opened up in the last 10 years. Most people are still worshiping engineers as the critical component of their startup, and they're fucking wrong. That is not the most critical part of your startups. Engineers are a goddamn dime a fucking dozen. In this country and around the world, and the cost structure for getting like decent, much less even great engineers is actually coming down dramatically. Being a good programmer, not a very high bar. Everybody's encouraging, yo, teach your kids to code. They'll have like lots of jobs. They'll be great. And that's kind of true, except they're not going to make a shit ton of money as a programmer. Why? Because there's going to be a billion fucking programmers out there. There's probably a billion fucking programmers right now. What is actually interesting? Design and UX, still underappreciated. What's also interesting? Marketing. Marketing, you're like, marketing? That's fucking like easy, everybody does marketing. No, most people have no idea how to do marketing well. They particularly do not know how to do internet, online marketing very well. What are the most risk factors? Don't fucking clap, you guys are all goddamn marketers who are sitting here in this place. If you really had your shit together, you wouldn't be here listening to me, you'd be sitting home making bank. So, the thing is, like, we are worshiping the last war. The last war was programmers are hard to find. Not really the last war. In fact, that's not even the last war. The last war was design and UX is hard to find. We've moved on from that. We've actually sort of learned those things, and there are schools for engineers. There are even schools for designers. Most of the designers still learning offline print techniques, not how to work with internet startup businesses, but we will get there. Thank you. You're right, they do suck. I'm riffing here. This is only the second time through. So, I will emphasize that most companies that have raised money, built a product, are going to have trouble getting to Series A. Why are they going to have trouble getting to Series A? It's not because the product sucks. It might be because the design sucks and UX sucks, but if they're smart, they will have realized over the last 5 years they should probably hire a designer and a UX person within the first like 12 months or so of building that product. It's only one person, not a high cost. Actually possible to find. What they are not emphasizing enough is that great internet marketing analytics people, extremely hard to find. The techniques have exploded and changed, and it's really challenging to find people who have good experience doing internet marketing. And most of the risks in getting to Series A are customer acquisition and revenue that results from that. Getting to $1 million in revenue, getting to 1 million active users, or maybe only 100,000 active users, actually pretty hard. Most people can build a product, most people can even make it look good, they do not know how to get customers. They do not know how to get customers, and they aren't even hiring for the right people to go after that. And if you think that you're going to hire for the right people to go after that, where do you go? There's no schools for great internet marketing. Business schools, not where you're going to find great internet marketing. Where do you find that? You got to headhunt from other companies that are already doing internet marketing well. Okay, back to most things are not amazing. Again, that's a good thing, because you can fix it. The thing that you fix is not generally technology. Most companies, most offline companies, what is actually working? They have a business model. Something has enabled them to get to some level of success. They are monetizing, even though they have high overhead costs and shitty marketing. Something's working. A lot of people doing internet businesses want to innovate on the business model. Fucking wrong thing. That thing is working. Don't innovate on the business model. Innovate on the efficiencies of the business. What's the overhead structure for that business? There's probably a bunch of physical real estate. It's probably like really crappy internet marketing practices. There are way easy things to change about existing businesses, and you can beat the fucking crap out of them with that. Their overhead costs are probably 10 to 20% margins points higher. Their internet marketing just generally sucks terribly. So copy the existing business model, generally speaking, and innovate on other areas. Much less risky path to a successful business. And focus on the one thing that you're going to do interestingly or innovative and make it better. Okay, so let's start thinking about the evil plan for all this crap. Here's an interesting thing. Most people, again, are trying to think about how do they take their business and innovate because they want to beat other competitors out there, they want to do some things. Actually, the reality of the situation is most businesses will fail. Most big businesses will fail over a 5 to 20-year period simply because existing conditions will change and they are ill-equipped to deal with those existing conditions. The metaphor, dinosaurs and asteroids. Large businesses have generally not recognized or dealt with the fact that there are large numbers of customers online who are now using those online tools and services to research and purchase things. Almost everyone in the audience uses and buys things online. Probably for offline businesses, 10 to 20% of their purchasing is now happening online. They have not generally done any amount of innovation in figuring that shit out. So when change happens, this is nothing at all other than time passing and change happening and large companies not being able to adapt. Innovator's dilemma, right? So you really don't have to do much at all other than wait for big dinosaurs to stumble along and die. And you just have to notice, hey, there's an asteroid coming, what am I fucking gonna do about that? So again, the formula for awesome. Notice something that sucks, make it suck less. What generally sucks about it? High overhead costs, inefficient marketing, internet marketing. Those are the two things that generally suck really bad. It's not because their business model sucks. They have figured out a way to survive and make money even though they suck with these high overhead and crappy marketing. So it's much easier to copy an existing business model slightly and just iterate on lower capital costs and better marketing. And you will beat the fuck out of them like a drum 7 times a week and twice on Sunday if you do this correctly. Critical factor in this, generally speaking, not really that much programming. You can use, again, the standing on the shoulders of the mental giants before you, email, payments, social, search, video, all that stuff. You don't have to do it. Somebody's already done it. That plumbing is laid down for you. Only thing you have to do is a little bit of internet marketing better, and you can crush the existing competitors in the market. They are slow, dumb fucking dinosaurs. They will never catch up to you. So find that physical world big dumb business that makes money, that's important. Notice something that sucks about their business. Verify that they have some high overhead costs and an inefficient offline marketing, and somewhere, again, there's this shitty thing, and then just zero in on the shitty thing, make that better. As an example, we've invested in about 20 or 30 food-related businesses. So many fucking things suck about the food delivery business. Big market, we all do it regularly. I can't get waiters' attention. The menus, I don't understand what's on the fucking menu. There's not a picture of that food. The description doesn't tell me it's in French. I fucking hate that. I'm trying to figure out if anybody's bought it before. Have I bought it before? Did I like it when I bought it before? Hey, my friend bought that. Can I learn from my friend whether they like that restaurant, that dish? Did that waiter suck? How do I get a discount because my friend went there? How do I get a discount because I went there before? I've got kids with me. Hey, I want seating for my kids. I want customer lists so when I go back again, the restaurant will know that I've been there and they will give me 3 choices. There's all sorts of food service problems. The reviews suck. Delivery time sucks. Payment sucks. Everything fucking sucks about the food business. It's huge. Very simple to innovate in those businesses. Not flying cars. Not fucking spaceships to the moon. Not 3D printing, fucking food. Simplest goddamn thing. And here's the thing, all you motherfuckers in Omaha. You are not gonna beat Silicon Valley and New York at fucking search engines, browsers, 3D printing. Sorry, it's not gonna fucking happen. Maybe Ben will beat some people at payments here in the Midwest, but generally speaking, talent's gonna be in those areas, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. What should you do? Regional fucking food businesses. Omaha steaks. Lots of easy things to do with very basic non-technology businesses. Innovate and use the technology to kick their ass. All right, I'm done with my main points. A little bit of branding. There are 3 brands: Virgin, Southwest, and Niche. Probably this is not true. I'm working on a blog post on this shit. I'll figure it out. Virgin is mass luxury. I want to create the feeling of the red carpet experience, but for the masses, or at least as much of the masses as I can get to. How many people fly on Virgin? Do you love it, generally speaking? Right, it's an awesome fucking experience. Wi-Fi there, I can order shit without having to get the waitresses, sorry, I'm just being super fucking sexist. God damn it. Stewards, attention. Attendant, thank you, there, I was looking for it. By the way, side commentary, we're all racist, sexist, fucking bastards and bitches, and we just need to notice, right? None of us are perfect, we just need to notice the conversation and try and shape and change that. So I'm not immune to those things, just trying to notice those things. What? Trying to improve incrementally, 1%, exactly. So, Virgin, great mass luxury experience. Southwest, how many people fly Southwest? What's Southwest's innovation? Kind of. Those are all good things. What else? Sit anywhere, right. Sit anywhere. You know how much fucking problem it is to like do seating algorithms? It's a goddamn pain in the ass. Complete fucking pain in the ass, incredible amount of IT cost and service quality like shitty because you're trying to seat people in certain sections. And they just basically said, fuck that, we're gonna do bus seating. And some people won't like that, but most people will get a better experience and will get faster times in and out of airports, and that'll improve quality, and that'll improve customer experience, and will kick fucking ass. Great, great fucking experience. How many people enjoy Southwest? Know what I'm getting. Convenience, value, and they don't take themselves too seriously. They're actually kind of funny. I've been on a Southwest flight where the airline, the person doing the airline announcement said, please ignore what I'm about to say, and then said, turn off your phones and all the other normal announcements. I was like, wow, you're fucking awesome. I really want to tweet about you, but I don't want you to lose your job. It's just like the best thing ever. Okay, so 2 airline experiences from me that are amazing. Virgin, the mass luxury experience at a value cost, and Southwest, the I know what I'm getting, the McDonald's experience. It's basically like convenience. I know it's not going to be too high priced. It's going to be relatively consistent. The last one is niche, and what I mean by this is focusing on a very specific customer demographic. Most investors, again, because they are optimized for billion-dollar outcomes, are going to say, think bigger. Go after big ideas. Go after, you're thinking too small. Think bigger. No, they're fucking wrong. Think smaller. The internet is goddamn big. There's so many different customer segments out there. Competition will be less if you focus. Your product will be better if you're focused. Imagine 2 product offerings. One focused on all women of all ages, all demographics, everywhere. Another one focused on moms between the ages of 25 and 40 with 2 kids who speak Spanish in urban environments, who drive a soccer van, and they have kids who are athletic. Now, smaller market, but how many of those people are there? Probably still single-digit millions, maybe tens of millions. How much easier is it to design a product for Spanish-speaking moms in urban areas who have 2 kids? Much easier. If I'm designing for all women over here, vast differences in customer demographic, product needs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This one over here, extremely segmented, extremely specific. If I do this business, I will crush the company that's doing that in this segment. Right? Easy to fucking win. May not be a billion-dollar company, may only be a $10 to $50 million company. Still pretty goddamn big, because why? The internet is huge and everyone's online. There are 300 to 500 million Spanish speakers. Probably at least 10% of that demographic has kids. It's still a big fucking market. The bigger the internet gets, the smaller your customer demographic should be. When you choose that specific customer demographic, you have less competition, your product can suck more and still satisfy the needs of your customer demographic much better than the very undifferentiated big business, and you can go after them and they'll love you. They'll love you because you are targeting them. They're like, hey, I love that. I'm a Spanish-speaking mom with 2 kids in an urban demographic. I love this company that is focused on me. I love that so much better than Johnson & Johnson or Baby Center or something else. So you'll get better retention, the margins will be higher, the competition will be less. Okay, 3 examples of brands. Mass luxury, convenience and value, just for you and me. You got it? All right, great. I'm done. Heckle me or questions. Got 22 seconds. Hurry the fuck up.
So if you're not going to be one of the giants, how do you avoid being fucked over by them? Getting 20 million downloads, Apple kicks you out of the App Store, turns off your push notifications.
Sorry, you're speaking too fast. The reverb's loud. I can't understand what the fuck you're saying. How do you not get beat by Tony Stark?
How do you not get fucked over by the giants, right? How do you not get kicked out of the App Store and you have your push notifications turned off? How do you not have Facebook decide they want 30% of your revenue after you've been in business?
That's just too many questions. One?
How do you not get fucked over by the giants?
By giants, be specific. What kind of giant? Apple or a bigger competitor?
The Facebook, Apple, Google that you're not trying to be.
You're not going to get fucked over by those people. They're your access to customers. The amazing thing right now is there are 6 major platforms with access to billions of customers. Google in search, or Baidu if you're in China, and Yandex if you're in Russia. Facebook and Twitter for social, again, differences if you're in other markets. Maybe LinkedIn for professional, not quite a billion, but probably hundreds of millions. So that's, Google, Facebook, Twitter, maybe LinkedIn, Apple, and Android. Those 5, absolutely fucking definitely, huge goddamn platforms, billions of people, and let's add YouTube for video, let's add a company that will eventually figure out local, maybe Pinterest, except they'll get bought by somebody. So there's like 5 to 7 or 8 major fucking platforms. They're not your competitor. They are your access and distribution to customers. They provide distribution, occasionally monetization, access to all sorts of features. Those are the giants whose shoulders you're standing upon. If you are getting fucked by them, it's because you're stupid and goddamn lazy. They are access to customers. Amazon, let's throw in Amazon there as well. Not necessarily distribution, but amazing technology. PayPal. Like, again, you are standing on the shoulders of all these fucking amazing platform companies. They are not competing with you. They are not going to go build a business for soccer moms who speak Spanish with 2 kids in a particular urban segment. That's not their focus. They're going much broader. Should not be fucking hard. You are not competing with PayPal or Amazon.
Not competition, but right? So App Gratis is an example. App Gratis, where Apple kicked them out of the App Store and turned off their push notifications, or Facebook Games, where Facebook decided they wanted to take 30% of revenue all of a sudden.
Big platforms will make idiosyncratic changes because they don't give a fuck who you are.
Right.
Tough shit, deal with it.
Strategy for not being one of those?
It's a big fucking... So I deal with this constantly. People are like complaining about Apple and they change shit. Facebook changes shit all the time. So fucking what? You know what? You're a boat on their goddamn ocean. It's a big fucking ocean. Stop complaining about the goddamn wind. You're on a fucking ocean in a boat. It's huge. The tide's going out. It's a fucking ocean. Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up and get some customers. Apple takes 30%. Fuck you, you get to keep 70%. It's still fucking awesome. Sit the fuck down, better question.
I don't have so much a question, but a statement.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dave McClure.
All right.